Okay, just a real short video. I've got all my water tank fill lines are all done. I've got to do some bracing, but everything is hooked up, tested, no leaks. Got my air vent in. That's this tube here. This piece of wood is just holding that up until I can cut a brace for it right here. That'll hold that up right there. And now I'm just making my parts list for making the city connection, which is right here. See, out here we've got, this is where you just stick a hose in, and that gravity feeds, and that's that blue line right there, and the hose above it is the vent, and you can see them. The blue hose, the attachment there is 1.5 inches inside diameter, and my tanks are 1.25 inches diameter. So I had to make a cob job here, so I went with a 1.25 inch barbed NPT to a PVC reducer from 1.5 inch barbed female NPT. So I dropped it from 1.5 inches to 1.25 inches. Now you'd think they'd make something like that, but they don't. And I didn't want to buy the plastic hose like that because it's so thick, it just didn't even make any sense. So we'll see how this works. I double clamped it there, and only because to service it I'm gonna have to take the the cover off. No big deal, but if I ever need to disconnect that from that, I can just do it right here, and it's facing me, and life is good. This is the supply line that's going to the coach, and we'll be coming out of the city there, and this line right here, which comes from my pump, which is basically the line I've been draining out here on the ground. And obviously it's too long. I've got to, once I get all my PEX and everything right, then this is my PEX connection to the house supply. That's something else I needed to get. I'm glad I said that. I need some more 1/2 inch stainless steel clamps. Those are those things right there. I used a shitload on the tanks. Oh, I didn't show you. I did connect the 2 tanks at the bottom, and I've got the trailer jacked up so that it's lower in the back and higher in the front, because there's still a little bit of water in there, but wasn't enough to prime the pump. I sucked on it for a while, but it wouldn't prime. But there's about, I don't know, about 1/2 inch in both tanks, and they did equalize, and that's what that connection right there does. So that tube right there runs through, and does the same thing on the other side there. So I think I told you I hooked up the air vents. Air vent hose is right here. Both tanks tee into this, and it comes over, and right here, and that's that little connection up there. I don't think I've ever shown you the I mean, it's just like a gas cap. If you had a locking gas cap, just take it out, and there you go. And that looks just like you would have your gas. And you just stick a hose in it. There's no, unlike the city connection here, where you you actually screw a hose on. Okay, see, it's got the little screen in there. Okay, which is connected all the time. In other words, this one, you hook your hose to it, and that hose is what creates the pressure inside the trailer. So when you turn the faucet on, it's just like pulling the trigger on a on a hose sprayer. The water just goes in. So I chose a water fill, that has a lock and a cap. Oh, see that little hole right there? See that hole right there? That's the vent. Okay, that's what that clear tube, that small clear tube right there, goes over T's, and it goes to both tanks at the top. That's to allow, when you're putting water in this hole, the air has to come out of the tank somehow. And that's where it comes out, right there. Okay. If you didn't have that, it would be nearly impossible to fill this up, because as the water's going in, the air's trying to come out. And guess what? They're going to fight each other. I mean, you'd get it full eventually, but you'd probably have a birthday in between. So I'm pretty pleased with that. That's a nice locking situation there. Plus, it keeps assholes from coming along and, taking off your fresh water cap and, pissing in it, or, just, doing something stupid. So, anyway, I thought I'd show you that. So, yeah, I'm getting ready to get out of here. It's about 4 o'clock. It's Chinese food night, and Gina and I are going to go have some Chinese food. So, I'll be back at it tomorrow. I've got a bunch of pecks still at the house. I'll bring over tomorrow. Need some 45s. I'm sorry, some elbows, some 90s, and some crimpers and stuff like that. But I cleaned all the spray foam out of there. I didn't have any. I didn't bring my generator with me. I got to bring that tomorrow. But gotta vacuum all that shit out of there. And don't forget my this cabinet will be pretty warm in the wintertime because of the heat duct, but there'll be a vent up here somewhere, to keep this room, as warm as it can be. When this comes into the trailer, I'll have a shut-off valve here in case I want to shut the water off for whatever reason. Yes, I could just disconnect the hose or go over to the campground pedestal that has the water supply and turn it off. But I'm a gadget guy. I'm a geek guy with this kind of stuff, and if I want to turn it off here, I want to turn it off here. And there'll be another valve down there. See that one or not? That one will be so I can put a drain through the floor. So if I ever need to drain the entire system, water tank, hot water heater, all the lines and everything, you have to do it at the lowest point. So it'll come off of here with a valve and an elbow, and go down through the floor. Same thing with emptying my tanks. basically this right here is coming from the pump, which will be tied into the water system. So if I ever want to drain my tanks, there'll be another valve. There'll be another valve here. It'll actually be up above the floor for this one, but there'll be another valve there where I shut the water off to the coach from the fresh water tanks, and then just send this water down and out into the ground. All right, I didn't want this video to be too long, so all right, y'all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Like the video if you do. If not, I don't care. Any comments are always welcome. My battery box is in the regular part of the cabin, and I got to get that. But you can see it's a lot easier to do all this plumbing without the battery box there. But with the battery box there will be a door right there above the battery box and over there. Not the bottom one, but the top one will be a door a flap that flaps down. And then you can reach in there. I mean, you can reach in there and do just about anything. I just figured, I could move the battery box, do the initial install and be done with it. Put the battery box in and I'm done. So, all right. Have a good night.